How many times do we find ourselves in this situation? So we've hit one offline and we end up behind the trees, and the hole is beyond those trees there. We've got fairway over there and we've got plenty of space to be able to chip out. But really we want to advance this ball a bit further to give ourselves the best chance of making a better score. How do I know that the club I choose is actually going to launch over the top of these trees? So I've had a situation like this recently on the golf course on one of my videos where I had a huge tree in the way and I had to take an educated guess as to whether I could launch the ball high enough and hit it far enough to actually clear it. How do we know that the club we choose is actually going to launch high enough to get over these trees? Well, there's a number of things that you need to look at. Number one, we have to see if we've got a good lie or not. The lie dictates any shot we play anywhere on the golf course. If we have a bad lie, we have to adjust the shot accordingly and the club selection accordingly to the lie that we get dealt. This situation right now, we've got the ball sat up nice and high and I can get the club underneath that ball, no problem at all. You're going to hold the club in your lead hand, you're going to point it in the direction of travel, and you're going to place your foot on that club and it's going to point up. And whether that angle is actually high enough to get up and over that tree. Remember, this is just a guide. There are a number of variables that could actually affect the launch angle of this particular club. And these are things like angle of attack and ball position. You need to know your own golf game well to try and take something like this on. That straight away tells me that I'm going to be very, very tight. It's probably pointing about 3/4 of the way up the trees. So if that's the situation, then we need to go up a club or maybe even 2 clubs to clear those trees. Now I've got a 48 and I've got a 58 here, but I just want to show you the difference between these two launch angles, and I'm going to try and stand on both of these at the same time. You can see the difference straight away in the launch angles of these two clubs. You can see that the 58 is going to clear it quite comfortably, whereas the 48 may just catch the top. This shot is always about a calculated risk and how much of a risk you're actually willing to take. In this case, I'm going to hit the 58. Cleared it by miles.